Welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. I'm so excited about the response that I've had, about all the lovely comments people have left me, and all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel, and it's brand spanking new, so please help me get to at least 100 subscribers. This episode is titled The Labors of Life. And Christine is in St. George to help McKelty, who any day now is going to have a brand new baby, which is so exciting. I'm really happy she was able to be there. Surprise, surprise, Cody's not. Christine tells us this is her 27th year anniversary, or at least it would be if they hadn't already split up. Cody is like, maybe you should go ahead and post though, put something online and about our anniversary. And Christine was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, well, but what about the kids? Like, the kids don't know we're splitting up. And she's like, no, I'm not going to be phony. And surprise, surprise, Cody wants to be phony. So that's not a shocker for any of us that have been watching him. Cody then says that this is kind of like a test, like he's testing to see if she really even means it. It's like, man, at what point are you going to believe that she really isn't wanting to be with you anymore? Like, she's moved you out, she's told you not to come over, she's told you she's leaving. What else does she have to do? It's just shocking. And he's saying, wow, this is like the first time that I ever really know she's actually serious about this. But I'm going to keep testing because you don't know, she might change her mind. He is so infuriating. But he goes on, and man, he becomes such a bigger jerk in this next statement. He says, this new life she's trying to create, like, I just wonder when she's going to figure out that it's not going to be any better than the life that she's had. And then it goes to Christine, and Christine is talking about taking off her wedding rings and how they felt like a noose around her, and that when she first went and took them off, that she felt so much lighter already. She hasn't even actually left yet, and already her life feels better. But she feels like the relationship is already over. I mean, there's not a legal thing that's happening, but she knows it feels over for her, and she just doesn't know yet when she's going to tell the kids. She wants to leave right away, but she can't. She needs to wait until September to move. I wonder so that's probably last September, or is it this one maybe that she's moving? God, I hope not. I hope she got out last September. Christine says that they had been together for 26 years. It would have been 27 if this anniversary they were still together, and that she doesn't see the marriage as a failure. They have beautiful children together. They did have good times together, but there was a lack of not just physical intimacy, but also emotional intimacy, and she's just ready for this to be over. Cody's singing the same old song that intimacy needs trust, and sexual intimacy needs trust, and he doesn't trust her, and he doesn't think that she's nice. He thinks that she was mean to Sob and Robin, and he claims that he didn't like her as a result of that, which, of course, in the last... You're just such a liar, Cody. That's the thing, is you were never really attracted to her, and you admitted that. So you can't say that and then also say it's because of how she behaved. It's like you just tell too many tales, and people know you're not reliable. Cody says that he didn't have any interaction with Christine on his anniversary, and so that was just another confirmation that it's over. Says he's still wondering because she hasn't even told her sister wives, or truly doesn't know. So I just think this is like another sexist kind of way of being. I think he doesn't think that women know themselves and are capable of making decisions for themselves. I could see him saying, you know how emotional women are. They never mean anything they really say. And he kind of has that attitude. So maybe that's kind of what's going on. He just thinks that women are silly and they don't mean what they say. He does think that she's told her kids, and he says, whoever's in the rumor mill, those are the people that know, and they probably all know. They meet on Zoom to kind of catch up and touch base with one another and talk about what the steps are going forward regarding COVID. And it's funny because Christine starts talking and she's saying, well, it's really important that we get on the same page here. And Cody instantly is like, stop talking, because he feels like she's trying to run the meeting. And he says that she's acting like an independent woman. She's trying to be like an independent woman now and be in charge. And it's crazy to think that he has not been challenged in this way this whole time, because it kind of seems like he has been, but I don't know, maybe not. He's saying that she kind of has this attitude and like she's not going to be submissive and she's kind of going to do whatever she wants and she doesn't have to worry about what the group wants. She can do whatever she wants. I have to say, I really hate the use of the word submissive and the importance of being submissive. And if I'm ever in a relationship and someone says that's important to them, goodbye. Goodbye, there's the door, leave now. So Cody plays his little, let's all catch up because I care so much about all of you, right? And he's like, so Janelle, you're in North Carolina. How's all that going? She's like, yeah, it's great. And then he's like, well, Christine, and you're in St. George with McKelty. How's that going? Yeah, it's great. I'm so excited. McKelty's having real contractions, not just the Braxton Hicks that she was having for a while. She's doing well. They're all really stressed out. It's, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, and Mary, I haven't talked to you for a long time either. But like doesn't ask her any questions of like how she's doing or what's going on. And it kind of sucks, like just the way he treats her, but she's staying and that's her problem, not mine. Janelle says that she thinks Cody is upset about the fact that she's traveling, but she's like, I have to see my kids and I'm not going to not see my children. That they're important to me, and so I'm going to go visit them. And Cody's like, well, I really wish I could go see my kids, but I just have to go by proxy by Janelle because I can't go because I'm a saint and I can't get on an airplane because of COVID. So Robin starts talking about the special relationship she has with McKelty. McKelty moved in with her before Robin and Cody got married, and she lived with her for a couple months because she needed, you guessed it, childcare. So she lived with her for a few months, and that supposedly had this effect of having like this really nice, close relationship. McKelty, I remember, was a little bit of the black sheep in the family. And she says that she's only close to her mom and to Robin, and she's not really as close to the other moms, which is interesting. So McKelty has invited Robin to attend the birth. And of course, she can't be there in person because of COVID. So she is going to be there on Zoom. The conversation turns back to what's going to happen with COVID. And so they asked, Savannah is going to go ahead and stay online, and she's currently in North Carolina and able to still do her schoolwork, which is kind of cool. And then Christine says that Isabel is wanting to go back to school. She hasn't seen her friends. She only has 2 weeks of school left, and she's moving away, so she's going to go back to school. And of course, Robin's kids are going to stay at home, and they're both online. And those poor kids being online at that age, how hard that must be. And Cody is just frustrated because he feels like everybody's just doing what they want to do. No one is following this protocol, and if they were, we could all be together. He is being told that he should go and meet with her, Isabel, and he's like, well, did she get her COVID test? And Christine's like, I'm in St. George. I gave her the link. She knows how to do it. She's 17. Why don't you call her and tell her, hey, I'm going to be coming over on this day. She'll go get the COVID test, and you guys can see each other. And he's like, well, I don't think that's fair, and you used to do this for me, and you should be doing this for me now. And it's like, how hard is it to tell your kid, hey, I'm going to come over on Thursday. Why don't you get the test on Thursday morning, and then when you get the results, I will pop on over. It's like he doesn't want to be responsible for making arrangements with his children. It's like he thinks Christine is supposed to be doing that. And what she's doing is stepping back because this isn't her role anymore. If he's going to have a relationship with his kids, he's going to have to stand up and do it himself, or he's not going to have a relationship. So Janelle's kind of like, you really need to go over and see Izzy. And he's like, well, if she's going back to school, I'm not going to be able to do that. And she's like, you can go and sit in the backyard. And he's like, oh, but it's snowing outside. And she's like, it's springtime. It's getting better out. The weather is getting better. And he's like, well, I don't know. That's just kind of an inconvenience for me to go over there. And she is just fed up and speaking up, which is great because she hardly ever does. And she's just like, it's got to be so hard for Izzy because she's leaving and she wants her dad to be there. And he's throwing up all these roadblocks. And it's great because Christine is kind of backing away and just saying, this isn't my thing to figure out anymore. This is between him and Isabel. And if he's not willing to do his end and to make arrangements, then their relationship is going to disintegrate. So it's just kind of sad, but I think it's appropriate. The other really sad thing that happened is he told Brianna, which is Robin's oldest, who is also a senior, he asked her to not go to school so that he could spend time with her and be with her. Christine said his own daughter would love to hear that. She would love to hear him ask that of her, but he doesn't. He just acts like, just make your decisions and then I'll deal with it. And that'd be really hard. Janelle asks a very interesting question. She asks Cody, when do you think you're going to feel like you can go back and have your life normal again? When do you think that's going to happen? Because the schools are opening up, everything's coming back. So at what point do you think you're going to have to come back to the world? And it's interesting because he doesn't have the answer and he acts like she's putting him on the spot. But if you're the one who's making all these decisions and that's really what's going on, shouldn't you also have this answer? But it's kind of like he doesn't want to say anything because he needs to talk to Robin about it first and figure out what she thinks he should do. And he's just like, oh, she's just trying to put me on the spot and I don't like that. And Robin's face just kind of says it all, like, oh, Janelle, you know he can't answer these questions yet. Cody says that he has health goals and that he's trying to not get the other kids sick. And so he doesn't know when he's going to be able to do that. And he doesn't like that they're having this snotty little attitude that what they're doing is right and what he's doing is wrong. And he just talks about how they have an attitude and it's just kind of silly. I don't think they have an attitude. Robin says she cares more about Cody's kids and their relationship with their dad over everything else, but she thinks it's really dumb that Isabel is going to school. So it's kind of like BS. That's not true. You're just saying that, and we all know you're not really meaning it, but okay, whatever. Mouth service. Cody goes on to say that teenage kids don't actually need their parents in the same way that the younger kids do. And so that's primarily what he's concerned with is his younger kids. And Christine says, no, all your children need you throughout their lives. And Mary says, I agree that younger kids do need their parents, but so do older kids just as much. And even Robin chimes in and says that she thinks that kids throughout their whole lives need their parents. So no one's in agreement with Cody on this one. Mary's in the car and she's driving to St. George to go see her mom, who is in the hospital, and she's driving completely by herself. And her mom has been having a heart attack. She is trying to get there before her mom passes away. And she's about 5 hours away from there, or 6 hours away. And she's completely by herself in the car. And I think that's the saddest thing ever. No one should be in that situation completely by themselves. Everyone remembers her mom and talks about her fondly, that she was a really nice, warm person. Cody said she was the easiest mother-in-law that he had, and she was really encouraging of like polygamy and like what he was doing. And Janelle also said she was a really sweet person. Christine said that when her mom left the church, no one really knew what to do with her mom, but her mom, Mary's mom, encouraged Christine to remain in contact with her mom after she left the church, and no one else was encouraging that, and that meant a lot to Christine, and it really helped their relationship as well. So an hour later, Mary gets a phone call from her sister letting her know that her mom had passed, and poor Mary is still, I think, 5 hours from getting to her destination completely by herself on the highway. Mary says she's going to have a really hard time. She's going to miss her a lot, and she doesn't really know what's going to end up happening. She was such a integral part of her life, and like even with the Airbnb, she doesn't know what she's going to end up doing with that. So she kind of feels like everything's kind of just up in the air, and she feels kind of lost. Mary goes on to say that her mom also lived a polygamous lifestyle, and her mom also experienced what is happening now to their family, which is that women left. And she said that she really never got over that. She always thought she was going to have those people in her life as she grew older, and that was something that was really heartbreaking for her. And I wonder what's going on with Mary, if Mary is in agreement that that's heartbreaking or not. I don't, because they all seem so estranged from one another. And this is a memory that was put at the end of the episode for Bonnie Barber. Rest in peace. So we're back in St. George with Christine, McKelty, and Tony. And McKelty is 22 hours into labor. Tony is totally freaked out. It's a home birth. He's never had a home birth in his family. His mom never did that. And so then they go into, all of the wives start talking about their experiences. So Christine had everybody except for Truly at home. And Janelle had half of hers at home, and she said she recovered better and she had a much better, easier time with a home birth. Mary had a home birth, and all of Robin's kids were home births. So even though it's not as common as it was now, they all really think it was beneficial and would recommend that for everybody. Tony keeps talking about how he's afraid he's going to drop the baby, like if he's supposed to catch it or something, and he just cannot get off that topic. And it's pretty funny because it feels like a pretty irrational fear, but it's also like, keep that guy that thinks he is going to drop the baby away from my baby, is kind of what I would be saying. McKelty mentions that she's really close with Robin, and she wants Robin to attend the birth. She can't do it in person, but she's going to be on a Zoom call. So Christine, the awesome person that she is like, that's what my baby wants. I'm going to make that happen. So she sets up a Zoom call. She makes sure that Robin is included in everything that's going on. She's sending her images that Robin can't see from the Zoom call. And it just shows you what an amazing, lovely person Christine is. She's just such an incredible person. So McKelty had a beautiful baby girl. She's so freaking adorable. She pushed for 10 minutes after she was fully dilated. And so that went really quickly, especially for a new birth. I mean, I could see that being your second child, but yikes, your first. So she's going to have no problem in the future. But the baby is so cute and super chunky, and I'm sure they're just over the moon ecstatic, and I'm very happy for them. Next episode is when Christine tells the wives, and I'm very excited, very much looking forward to it. I don't think it's when Cody flips out, but we're getting there. We're getting closer to that. Thank you so much for watching. That sums it up for this week. Please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful week.